Hello and welcome to our tutorial on how to use the headings as a formatting tool in Google Documents so that your table of contents is built automatically for you. Now, the first thing you need to do is to open a Google document. I'm going to be showing you through the eyes of a Year 7 multimedia project folio. So I'm going to first start by titling my project, Year 7 Multimedia Portfolio. I'm going to put my name in there as well. Now, first thing that we would normally do in a document is to have a title page. So on our title page, we would include a title. So the title of this project is Stop Motion Animation. Now, to create this as a title, I need to change the way that Google looks at this text. Normally, when you're typing in the document, all the text that you put in, such as the text you can see now, is considered to be normal text, part of your sentences, part of your paragraphs. If you're writing a heading, if you're writing a title, it's important that you tell Google or Microsoft Word or Pages that the text that you have just written is actually a title. I'm going to show you how to do that. So first thing you want to do is to highlight your text that is part of the title. Then you're going to go up here to where the tools are, and you can see it says here in the Styles menu, Normal Text. If I click this drop down arrow, it gives me a couple of different options. I've got Normal Text, which again, that's our paragraphs, our sentences that form part of our folio. Our title, we only have one title and that's on our title page. Our subtitle, again, that only goes on our title page. And then we have headings, heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3. I'll talk about those different types of headings later, but for now, we're going to use title to change this text. Now, if you look up at the top, you can see when I'm selecting any of this word, it comes up title, and when I click enter to go to the next line, it automatically changes to normal text. That's because Google knows that once you've created your title, you probably want to just start writing your information. Okay, so that's how we create titles. You are probably looking at this document right now and thinking, but I don't like that font, sir. I want to use a green font and I want it to be fancy. But when you use titles and normal and heading and subtitle, you do have the option to change these. So first thing you can do is highlight your text again and find the font that you like. When I use headings in my folios and titles, I really like to use Rock Salt. I think it looks pretty cool. And there you go, you can see it does look pretty cool. But if I type in a new sample title and I highlight this and change it to title, you'll notice it still looks quite boring and plain. So I need to tell Google that I want this font to be used for the title. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it with the font and the size that I want. I can even change the color, so I'm going to make it red. I'm going to make it size 30, and you can see that the font is Rock Salt. I'm then going to go back to this menu here, and where it says title, you can see that there is an arrow pointing to the right. And my options are either apply title or update title to match. I'm going to select update title to match. What we've done there is we've told Google that every time we use title, we want the font to look like this. And you'll notice that this sample title immediately changed. And if I go back here, I can see my new font and color is listed in the heading here. And that's exactly what I want. So we've now worked on how to do titles, and I might put subtitle in. The subtitle is going to be Year 7 Multimedia. I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to call that subtitle. Again, you have the option to change this font to something you like. I'm going to use Architect's Daughter, and again I just go to subtitle, click on the arrow and update subtitle to match what I have selected. And that's now done. So I've got my title page sorted. I've got a title and a subtitle. I'm going to go to a new page. Now to get to a new page in Google, I can press enter, 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 all the way to the bottom. But that's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is actually to press the command button and the enter button at the same time, and you'll see that it immediately jumps to a new page. What this means is my title page, I can still type on it if I want to, but everything from this point downwards will always start at the top of a new page. So at this point, I might decide that I'm going to start writing about my project proposal. This is section 1 of my folio. So I've selected heading number 1, project proposal. And this is the heading straight out of my portfolio outline for the multimedia assessment task. Again, I don't really like this font, so I'm going to change it to something that's a little bit more me. There we go, I like Handley. Highlight it, back to my styles, and I'm going to say update heading 1 to match. Now you'll notice that we have heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3. Heading 1 is the first heading. So if you're looking at your portfolios, that's the very left-hand column of the portfolio outline, where it says project proposal, project development, and project evaluation. They're your top headings. If you're doing a subheading, you can then select heading 2. It's one level below. And you also have a subheading, which is smaller again. And you'll notice the size goes down slightly. So to show you how this works, in project proposal, I have a few different sections. I have 1.2, which is my design situation. I have 1.3, which is my design brief. I have 1.4, which is my limitations. And apparently I can't spell today. I have 1.5, the criteria for success. And I have 1.6, time management. Now all of these are subheadings. They're not my top heading. My top heading is project proposal, and all of these headings here fit underneath that. They're all part of the 1.0 section. So I'm going to go to my styles menu, and I'm going to go heading number 2. Again, I'm going to select a font that I want to use for this, and I'm going to stick with Handley for this one. And I'm going to update the style to match. Now you're probably wondering, why is it important to use the styles? Well, the reason we use styles is because once we've told Google what's a heading, what's a title, what's a subheading, and what's normal text, it's then able to build a table of contents for us. So I'm going to put some sample information in here, and I'm just going to type absolutely anything. I'm going to do that under every heading, just to show you how this is going to work. Now you'll notice that all of this sample information is using normal text as a style, not heading. I've got heading 2 and I've got heading 1. I've got my title and I've got my subtitle. Normally, once we have our title page, the second page is normally our contents page. So let's insert a page in between our title page and this page here. And the best way to do that again is to go back up to here at the end of our text and press Command Enter to create a new page. And you'll see I've now got a new page in the middle of my document. So on page number 2, I'm going to put a contents page here. It can be very, very long and painful if you have to manually type in your contents page. And we don't want you to do that. So we're going to show you that you can go to the Insert menu. You can select Table of Contents right down the bottom here. And you can select either with page numbers or with links. If you're only going to be using your Google document on the internet, I would suggest that you use blue links. If you are eventually going to print your Google document, I suggest you use page numbers, because that way someone who physically has your document in front of you can see what page they need to go to. So I'm going to show you how page numbers works. You'll see that it has instantly put in my heading 1s and my heading number 2s, but none of my extra information that I typed in, my sample information, has been included. That's how styles work in Google Documents. Now, when you're working on your document, you might find that 1.3 ends up on a new page, and you might find that 1.5 ends up on a new page and 1.6. But up on my contents page, it still says it's all on page number 3. All I need to do to update that is click anywhere on my table of contents so that I can see the box around it and this little refresh button. If you click Update Table of Contents, you'll see all of my page numbers have now updated. You only need to update it at the very end of your project once everything is done. So I've shown you how to use title, I've shown you how to use subtitle, I've shown you how to insert a table of contents and how to refresh it. I've also shown you, I'm going to scroll down, heading number 1, heading number 2, and also normal text. And I've shown you how you can update those texts. You can also update normal text. So if you don't like using Arial, you can change it to Calibri. You can select normal text and update normal text to match. A reminder to you that your headings are allowed to have fancy fonts, but your normal text should always be something that is very simple and easy to read. I suggest you use Times New Roman, Calibri, or Arial. These are the 3 easiest fonts for people to read. Do not use any cursive fonts such as IndieFlower, Rock Salt, or Great Vitesse or Dancing Script for your normal text because it makes it difficult for people to read. Thanks very much and good luck with formatting your folios.